Someone picked, you know how you've got two choices. They picked both of them as their first and second.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, how'd you do that? And he goes, well, because I took my second slot, but it was my first level skill. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense when you sit there and you go, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, Magic says the same thing in chat there. So
yeah.
Good to know.
Oh, cool. So we are live. We'll turn it over to Storyteller.
Oh, that quick?
Yep, I got nothing to say.
Crikey, I didn't even type. I'll better type hi, low in chat. Right. we were jibber-jabbering over the beginning, eh? Well, in that case, into the recap. So, hey, players. Hey, everybody in internet world. I'm going to hit our recap. I'm going to have to enlarge it because, I don't have glasses. So, last week, Sunday, which was Wednesday in game, we began with Jackson meeting Sophia in her extravagant office at the top of the Granger Museum. They made a meeting for the following night. Jack's offering to Sophia that he was a collector. He wanted to buy the fanciful sword that they know she has, and she wanted to see his collection to be sure it wasn't a ruse. He sent you all a group text to let you know his plan. He also sent Zane a text to meet him at the Granger Museum. So Zane, on his way there, they finally get there and they make a ruse themselves to upgrade the museum's security. It was close to Jackson coming into scuffle with security here, and Zane managed to finish up the work he needed to do. Jackson's runner sent a text saying that the Thin Bloods were happy to meet on Fridays. Sorry, this coming Friday. The place was still to be texted to Jackson. And they were still trying to get a hold of Van Diemen. Aaron made his visit to his kindred gunsmith friend Mick at Mick's Guns and Ammo, checking in on the weaponry that he had commissioned. June, Gould and Mick's assistant talked about the upcoming poker run, the bike ride on Friday, and showed how dangerous the acid was for the weapons and ammo that they were building, revealing her damaged hand. Aaron also got a call from Cage, the safecracker, checking in to see if he was still needed. Then, later on at the luxury yacht, the festivities began with everyone in wonderful outfits. Pip was waiting nervously in the wings whilst Echo met her adoring fans and began handing out pre-signed copies of her wondrous book, Ocean's Embrace. Peggy made an appearance and was having a great time harassing the staff and the rest of the coterie that came aboard. Aaron, Jackson, Zane all changed outfits and met Peggy as they entered the scene as well. And whilst Peggy was forcibly sharing drinks, Pip met Sylvia Plath under the pseudonym Vicky Lucas. They had some back and forth conversation where Pip revealed some ashes from his pocket, and then he asked her about an oven incident, which Echo came in and sort of stopped the happenings there. Both conversations, I think, were stopped or saved by Echo while she was finishing up her meet and greet. Echo asked Pip if he would like Sylvia to aid in his learning of kindred and their kind, as she was of his clan. Pip and Sylvia then shared a vision and more conversation to try and help Pip see that he isn't just another monster of the night. So, it is here we find ourselves at around about 10 p.m. on a warm, clear Wednesday night in Melbourne. We mingle amongst the festivities aboard the luxury yacht, the Seporum Sanguinis. Lights around the yacht sparkle in the moonlight. The ocean waters gently lapping the edge of the boat as it is very calm. The volume of chatter and laughter is lifted to rise above what minor musics there are. The masked cosplayers, the fans and guests are all, as it seems, having a wonderful time. Hounds, you have all gathered together, finally, at the third floor, the VIP suite. Vicky Lucas is seated near Pip, still conversing with him. Peggy is also up on this floor now. She's come up to this level to say hello and spread some more fun and rumours with drinks. Sophia sits at a window seat nearby. And I say nearby loosely. This is a large area. She's probably about a good 6 to 8, maybe 10 metres from any one of you, sitting on the nice leathery seats of the red leather of the Seporum Sanguinis. She has her guards nearby, and Echo's publishing team, her agents, and a few other Australian well-known writers are chatting with Sophia. It is over to you, team. As you're all together, you may chat amongst yourselves how you like.
I'm going to go over to Peggy and give her a big cuddle, squeeze her, slap the waiter on the ass.
Peggy in her nice grey dress that she's been wearing, a few stains on it now, goggles still up on her head and not worn like a mask at all, turns around, seeing you come up to her, and she's holding her another bottle of whiskey, an unknown brand, not the Jamesons anymore, a glass in her other hand. She says, Echo, I knew you'd make it. Of course it's your party. Of course you'd make it. Whew, I think I've had 1 or 3 too many.
You having fun, Peggy? The least?
Always having fun. And she leans in and says, Sam over there looks dashing. Sam standing near Sophia and the other writers and publishers. And then she looks back and she says, and your group of men that surround you all the time, not too bad either.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
So which one are you,
I don't think we can't do that really anymore.
I mean, pretty sure you can. Your books are full of it.
Yeah, they're not all true, like what they say, you know.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Blatant lies. I knew it. See waiter number 4 over there, the one in the frilly red and green.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon money's on it that I will have him by the end of the night.
How much you want to bet?
I've got a clean. Where's my purse? Clean hundy.
What?
Hundy, $100.
Oh, okay.
Do you not deal in money?
No, the waiter number 4, huh?
Number
Alright.
4.
All right. Deal. Shake on it.
She puts her bottle down to shake on it, and then she grabs a bottle and just strolls straight over to that waiter and starts chatting him up.
I'm gonna go find my group of people. Are you wondering?
Chatting. The other 3. Jackson, where are you?
Nowhere at the
Oh,
moment.
Jax. Yeah, he has to adjust his stuff.
Okay, Aaron. So you're all on the 3rd floor. Would you be talking with Pip or Zane or Jackson?
I would actually be looking at Zane going, shouldn't you be robbing someone right about now?
Apparently that's been called off. We're doing something else now. But we could still rob it. Yeah.
We had a plan.
Talk to him. Well, you know who I'm talking about. That one. Yeah, him. Not me. No.
Okay.
I can't talk. You're making too much.
Right. So
Yeah, but I'm saying I can't talk until you
everything's up
finish.
for putts.
I can't talk until you finish.
Pip,
Because Skype picks up
how's your
everything. It's
night
worse
been?
than Discord.
Oh, Mr.
Look
Tomic,
at me, you look at me like all you like. I'm just saying.
been quite
I can't
wonderful,
talk until you
actually.
finish.
How are you
I'm
doing?
not having a go, as you always think.
Yeah,
Well,
It's
it's
interesting.
like a radar
Just
view.
for old friends.
Just about to ask my friend here a very interesting question. Have you seen Echo?
So Echo is just over the way chatting with Peggy as you... Peggy's actually wandering away from her, but we'll just say this happened at the same time. So Echo is just far enough away, you think, that you can talk however you wish.
And Pip will pull out a seat for... So, the oven?
Ah, yes. It's a funny story. I was visited by a fan, actually, wanting to meet, but always for dinner or late hour visitations. Have you got 5 minutes?
I think we've got that long.
Good. As you well may know, at that time in my life, there were no trees nor birds in my world. There was only a sourness. Eventually, I just made the decision to meet this fan and get it over and done with. Mr. Lurth, his age wore the best black fabric, possibly 40s, with greying hair to the shoulder. Being around him was like stasis in darkness until we sat for dinner around 9 p.m. He chose a lovely London restaurant in a Primrose Hall area. He was polite, always a gentleman, but he was so very odd. I shall never get to put him together entirely. He handed me 2 separate white roses when we met. I mean, I was married. Separated, but married. Nonetheless, when offered a table with 3 seats at the dinner, he was... Well, he moved a chair away. He could not sit with 3 chairs at the table. He always took 2 sips from his drink, and between 2 candles, he watched me. He was the face at the end of the flare. He even had 2 pocket handkerchiefs neatly folded. And then quietly at the end of dinner, he said he was set to save me. I didn't really want to live on. And anyone who's read my books would know. Anyhow, he said I deserved to live, and because I didn't want myself in this world was more the reason that I deserved it more. It felt weird, like a sheep in the fog. His words delighted my heart like wishes. But exactly midnight, he called a taxi and took me home. And that was when things changed. She leans into you, Pip, a bit closer, and anyone else listening still hears, but she's directing us directly at you, Pip. And she says, at my doorway, he asked me to enter, and I didn't think it a good idea. But I felt compelled, which was very unlike me. He shut the door and reached forward, and he bit my neck. And I really can't recall anything else. From that point to maybe the next evening, I woke. Everything seemed normal, but here he sat, this man, waiting. Explained everything to me of this world of kindred and how it worked. We spent evenings together as he went over the details of feeding and sleeping and clans and hierarchy. He spoke of the atrocity of sunsets that would scorch us to the root. And not long after he left. In the beginning, I tried to end myself over and over again, but nothing worked. Dying is like an art, and like everything else, it seemed I had done it exceptionally well. I contemplated the sunlight, Pip. But a nagging voice inside me wouldn't allow it. I was terrified by this dark thing that sleeps in me. She touches her sort of upper chest over the breast area when she says that. You knowing what you feel inside, and you can sort of hear, you understand what she's talking about, the beast within. All night, I can feel its leathery turnings, its malignity, I guess. But now, kindness. Oh, kindness. I take my kindness, sweetly picking up pieces, for I know there is no stopping it. And that is why I'm here to help you. The short is, I set up the ruse with the oven. Made sure I covered all the doors and windows not to affect anyone else. I didn't need the children in this world. They needed to be kept away from it. I knew this was the best way to make it look like I was done. Finished. Finally, the end. They took me to the morgue after doing all the tests, and I passed every test. They thought I was dead. Of course, when I discreetly disappeared from the morgue, they were upset. How could they lose a body? And they just covered it up, like everything else. I moved far away with the help of Mr. Lurth. Eyes to the sky, just contemplating.
That is a most compelling story. I wish I'd had a pen. You spoke of kindness.
Yes.
I didn't know kindness in my life. Perhaps as a part of my own doing, removed myself from the world long before I slipped the mortal coil. But in unlife, I've found friendship and kindness. And he sort of looks around to the rest of the coterie doing their bits and pieces. And he puts a hand in his pocket. He was kind to me too. Was many things to many others, but to me he was kind. And I need to know what happened, even if the rest of them don't. I need to be of use to them. I need to help them as they chase their goals and desires in disparate directions. I need you to teach me to be useful.
Kindred, how one we grow. What you ask, I can do. It will take time, dear Pip, but I have given up what I was, my day clothes, and what we are now. You have everything to take in. I can help you. I've seen some of what you can do. Perhaps consider you an oracle, a mouthpiece of the dead. If that is what you wish, we can make it.
He just sort of nods and grips his pocket and then puts his hand on the table. I think I'd like that.
Well, it's decided then. I would say Eco would definitely be coming over about now, and anyone else who wanted to.
How are you two doing over here? Sylvia's a wonderful friend, isn't she?
It's Vicky tonight.
Oh, Vicky. Vicky's wonderful.
She has been most illuminating, and Mr. Tomic's been a most good boy. Good boy.
Have you, Aaron? Have you been a good boy?
He sat when I asked.
Hmm.
Why have I got the feeling you guys are taking the piss?
Never.
That's pretty fucking obvious, mate.
Pip just has the most earnest look on his face ever. He's like, but Aaron.
Zane, you're over at the bar. What are you doing?
Brooding.
Brooding? You may have... there is blood being served in the guise of wine. You may have one in your hands if you wish.
Yeah.
Jax, are you with the rest of them at the moment?
Yeah, Jax was sort of dealing with some issues on his phone. And eventually looks up and answers Aaron's question. You guys got my text, right? Pretty self-explanatory. Have a meeting with Sophia tomorrow to get the sword. No bloodshed, no thievery, just a business deal.
What was the exact wording that what's his face used?
The demon.
Yeah. Did he say for us to acquire the sword or to steal the sword?
I don't really give a fuck what he said. Wants
Well,
a sword, I'll get it for him.
Here's the issue. It could have actually been a test for something else.
I don't really care.
Well,
Test is simple. I got the sword. He gets a sword. He gets what he wants.
yeah, you're not understanding the point.
You're not understanding the point. I built
Yeah,
that security
actually,
system. I know exactly how it works. I know the changes that have been made. No way we would have got that sword. Not tonight.
Yeah, I doubt that. I think we would have got the sword because your security system is flawed. Because
You don't know anything about security, Aaron.
Oh, I don't need to know anything about security. You were running security at Elysium. It got attacked.
No, I wasn't, actually.
You were running a security at Elysium a second time. It got attacked.
I don't run security at Elysium.
You were. That's the point.
I was running security at one event. I wasn't actually running it. I was invited there. The same as you. Same as Echo and Pip and Zane. By the sheriff. I was told what to do, just like the rest of you.
Both of you enjoy the ball. Aaron, you're posing as my bodyguard, so you're with me. Pip looks like he's busy. Zane looks pouty over in the corner there. I'm going to go talk to Sophie about a pen.
At this point, Jax leaves. And leaves the boat.
You exit the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We'll come to you shortly. Over at the bar, Echo, are you heading to Sophia or heading to Zane?
If Zane's on the way, I'll stop by Zane.
He would be on the way. So Aaron and Echo together, I assume?
Yep.
Cool. Zane's at the bar, drinking his red drink.
Why the long face, hacker?
I had a mask. It was a perfect mask. It was an excellent mask. And it got thrown in the water.
What
You
it
see it
look
go
like?
floating by? What do you mean what it looked like?
Yeah, what it look like?
Mask.
Did it look like these people's masks?
No, it was better.
Was it?
I thought it was.
Who threw it in the water?
That grumpy one that doesn't like me.
Well, I'm sure there's a good reason. So, you know, if it was made of like computer chips or something gaudy, then yeah.
You had that in there.
Why?
Flashy lights.
Yeah, no, Zane, no.
Yeah,
It's
Zane.
supposed to be have some class, you know, like you're not Daft Punk or anything. You're supposed to have like, you know.
Fine.
We can do a party that you could wear that type of mask to.
I
if you
will,
want,
yeah.
Zane.
I'll buy one that you want.
I got ideas.
Okay,
There's no 3D printers around here, is there?
not on the boat, no.
Ah.
So while they're talking to Zane, I'll excuse myself from Victoria. I'll be back.
No problem.
And I'll run up to where Zane is and jump on his back. And like, Mr. Riviera, my precious, I need a new phone. Mr. Spencer texts me, I don't have a phone to read it from.
I'll send you one in the mail.
In the mail?
I know. I'll email it to you. There.
Email me a phone. Okay,
Zane. Really?
wait a minute. How will all the bits and pieces get through the internet?
I'll make it fit.
I believe in you. And then he'll run off. I'll like let go of you and run off to the table again.
Jackson, as you're headed down from the second floor through the third floor, the guests are a bit thick and fast here. It's a bit harder to push through them. You get a text. Francis has texted you saying the Thin Bloods will meet with you at the Sandman nightclub in West Melbourne, Saturday, 10 p.m.
I'll send a reply. Thanks.
Next text comes in. Van Diemen said he has a message for you. He'll meet you at the boat tonight. I told him you were there.
On this boat.
He texts back, I assume so.
I'll just go, in that case, I'll go to the rear section of the boat, just overlooking the water, and just hang out pretty much as far away from people as I can get.
So you'd be going the other way. So the rear's where all the parties are happening.
Okay,
You'd
front
want
of
to
the
be going
boat.
to the front. Yeah, yep, sweet as.
Just
So
as
you
far
could be
away
on-
from people as I can, so I'm kind of on my own.
Cool. So any deck will have a section at the front. You can get away from everyone. That's fine. All right. You head to the front area of the boat. Because it's not really aimed at party area. None of the lighting sits up here. There's a lot of nobody around. You can see on the top, the fourth sort of floor, the level where the captain and the crew of the actual boat are. They're sort of in their own, amongst themselves. They're not really mingling with anyone, but you can see them from your vantage point looking around. It is a clear night. Stars and moon are all visible, but there is a light mist almost, I say mist, it's probably a fog because it's on the ocean, coming across the waters and sort of just lapping at the front end of the boat.
It's hanging
Shoot
out
it.
there.
Sweet as. All right, back to the rest of you. Echo. Sam comes over. I have a message. There's a phone call for you in your dressing room, your office, ma'am. You may want to take it in there.
Right. Oh, okay. All right. I'm gonna head over there then. Go in my office. And I'm gonna go to my phone. Is it a shitty phone?
No, this is like a landline in the boat. Your own in your own dressing room here. Basically, you have everything's kitted out the way it should be. It would be off the antenna of the boat, but it's set up like a landline, like a hotel. You get into your room. The phone's sitting off the hook, ready for you.
Hello?
Okay, magic. If you're on board, you're on the other end of the phone at this point in time.
Good evening, Miss Monroe. How are you?
Dr. Graves? Is that you, really?
Of course, Echo.
I do believe you got an invite. Maybe to a certain, ball.
As you say this, the door to your ensuite opens and out steps Mr. Graves with his cell phone in hand, talking to you on the other end. Mr. Graves, Evil, if you can just pop up the trench I sent you, and Mr. Graves, if you can describe what you look like, because the trench is just an overall view.
So you'll see Dr. Graves walk in. He is about 5'8", 5'9", chestnut, short brown hair, green eyes. His outfit is very much that of, if you imagine Jacob Fry from Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Top hat, the jacket, vests, and the pants, all of that era. Holding the phone in one hand, and in the other, he's kind of cheekily leaning on a cane. And he hangs up.
Storyteller, are there posters of my book everywhere?
Yeah, there would be a fair amount of like a movie deal poster, but for the book, it's more the cover of the book. So whatever was on the cover of the book, it would be up and around. And there's shots of characters. So yeah.
Is there any in this room?
Not in this room, no.
Oh, okay.
This is your room. Would you have wanted one in there?
I'm gonna just be like, oh, cheeky as ever, I see.
Who's this dude?
This is Dr. Isaac Graves. He is an old friend of mine. Isaac, this is Aaron Tomic, also an old friend of mine. I asked Isaac for some help with our problem with Sophie.
Do you have a problem with Sophie?
Well, I have a pen from the prince that I could put something in, maybe paralytic. I was hoping he could help. Isaac, do you think, unless you came here to dance?
You know I don't like things like this.
Yeah.
He reaches slowly and into his breast pocket and pulls out a capped syringe. And with the actual plunger facing towards Echo, he hands it over. I believe this will do the job.
Is there anything I have to do special, or just put it in as I get out the pen?
Just as long as it's injected into your subject.
All right. Are we still doing this, Aaron?
Exactly what are we doing? Because, we never really planned anything. You just said, let's do it, and that was it.
Van Diemen would appreciate if Sophie Hall was no more, as would I. Think it would strike. It benefits more than one way.
He also wanted the sword, but that's kind of going to be a moot point if
Well,
we now kill her because, we're meant to be stealing the sword right about now too. But hey, plans change.
However, grumping us, if we kill her, the sword is free for Van Diemen to take as he chooses.
You'd be better off with Van Diemen offering someone the solution can sometimes be better than none at all.
Hey, I've never dealt with the bloke before. I kind of stay out of the whole cloak and dagger thing. It becomes too tedious.
Kindred politics are not in my wheelhouse either. But you learn.
By the way, and I pull out from my purse a box. I got you these, Aaron, for your suit. Before I forget. And I will give him a pair of gold cufflinks with the gangrel symbol on them with ruby set for the eyes.
What do I do with these?
You stick them on your sleeves.
Right. How they stick on?
Don't forget. Come here. And I'll put them on.
What? You're the one that put me in this fancy suit. It's not what I normally wear.
All right. Can you see in the dark?
Yeah.
All right.
Pretty well.
So can I.
Do you want to be a part of this, Isaac?
You would need me for that liquid to become... Well, just say you need me to make it work. Your choice if you want me around, or I could be what I do best.
What's that?
Not be here.
Oh. All right. If we wait...
Out of the way.
If we wait till the deal with buying it, it might miss my chance with Sophie. So I'm going to take it. You don't have to take it with me.
He'll then reach into his pocket and there will be a little box, kind of more longer than an actual box itself. Wear this.
Okay.
Think of me when it was time to call me for the job. Once the drug is administered.
All right. And now I will open the box.
And in it you will see just simply a crystal attached to a chain. It is a very exquisite crystal, which Isaac would know would appeal to echoes love for the beautiful things, and would complement her evening gown very well.
It's lovely. Thank you. So I just have to think
If you don't want me around.
to. Well, I feel like she might be more comfortable with the less people.
Then I'll stay on board out of sight.
Because I have other people for you to meet.
Oh, great.
Yay, I know you love it. And the posters outside, just don't look at them. They are
Echo, I've been here all night. I've already noticed, darling.
it's fiction. It's not,
Very uncanny likeness.
Alan Croft was just an idea, and it doesn't really necessarily, it's a serious form of flattery. You haven't read it, right?
The icy waves embrace my skin. I am going numb. The endless ocean swallows me. This will be my cold, wet tomb.
Okay.
So the rest of you, Zane, Aaron, Jax, would have noticed posters around the boat advertising Echo's books, specifically the one she's signing for at the moment. You haven't seen Isaac yet, but when you do, you'll not help but notice the imagery is not perfect, but any of these posters where there's a man, one of the main characters, Alan Croft, involved, looks strikingly like Isaac Graves. Just a note.
All right. I'm gonna look at Aaron. Anything else before I go get her?
I'm gonna be right beside you, so I don't know what's your plan anyway?
I'm gonna talk to her, get her in the room. It's gonna go dark, and I'm gonna try everything to take her out. I would hope if you have anything on you to help in Grangrel, you probably have more of a chance than I do.
Right. Okay. Got some ideas whether or not they work on someone that's as old as her.
Yeah, maybe you
I guess we'll find out.
Can get Jackson?
I don't think Jackson's going to really help you do what you're thinking. He's kind of gone his own direction with his ideas.
In that case, sounds like you would need me after all, my dear Echo.
And I'm going to go out.
I was going to say to the storyteller, is there like a possible wardrobe or cupboard or something that I'll be able to keep myself out of sight?
There's many in this room. There's wardrobes, dressing rooms, cupboards, the ensuite which you came from.
He'll stay in the room, but he will put himself in a wardrobe of some sort that will just keep him out of sight.
Okay. You go to a wardrobe nearby. It's a large walk-in style wardrobe. You pull the doors open, and Peggy and the waiter number 4 fall to the ground, half naked. She drops a bottle on the floor and she's like, "Oh, excuse me, yeah, I didn't believe this room was taken." And the waiter says, and he stands up and he sort of starts buttoning his shirt back up. He's got lipstick smeared on his cheek and his neck, and he says, "I'm very sorry, ma'am. I'll get back to it." And he helps Peggy up and sort of gives her a brush down, hands her bottle and cigarette back, and sort of helps pull the straps of her dress up a little. And he says, "I'll see you later." And he gives her a wink and then heads out the door of the office.
I just look at Peggy and I say, I see you're still as horny as ever.
You hadn't busted in right then. She's pointing at Graves, but she's sort of with her arms waving across to all of you. That's 100 you owe me, Echo. 100. Clean 100.
I'm going to give you 2 just because of the shock value right there. I'm just going to put my hand up and I'm going to walk out.
Right, we will cut from there. I assume Isaac's going back to the closet. Zane, at the bar, trying to drown your sorrows. You would have had enough of the red liquid by now. You could remove 1 hunger. Especially the way you feed, this would be fine for you. So I believe that puts you back at 1 hunger. You have a text come through on your phone. Do you read it?
Yes.
It's from your assistant. She says, I don't know what you're doing, what crime you've gotten yourself into, but I have sold your business. Thank you for the papers. I'm opening an art studio. Good luck with whatever crime you're committing. And then you notice you've missed an alert. You had a search going on the Sabat leader, and your phone has an alert latched to your computer back at the Haven. You can open the documentation if you like.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Your search took some time, but your computer's auto sent you mostly old pictures, old school photographs that have been scanned, and they're very grainy, but they're from what looks to be Italy or Rome. Very, like I say, grainy, fuzzy, sort of black and white photos. You can't see a lot of them. The person in the photos is very scratchy to look at, but you can see enough to know the body shape, the way his hair and facial hair are. It looks very similar from what you can gather. The other thing you get is a dump file of aliases or names he's used. Jonathan Phillips amongst them, but and I will send you this at the end of the game. You get Italian names, Greek names, all sort of Latin variations. Jonathan Filippo, Jonathan Philippe, Jonathan Veplu, Jonathan Philip, and it goes on the list. It has nothing recent except for very grainy sort of street camera pics that are blurred to hell, which you've seen before. But the one that catches your eye the most is a shot just outside the Church of Christ in South Yarra. Of course, it could be any number of people in the same dark coat and hat, but the camera's fuzz must be just, I guess he must be just far enough away from the camera he's not affecting it. You can clearly see the pictures labeled the same night that Elysium was attacked. And it would be a few hours later after the attacks went down. Looks to be he's heading back to the church in South Yarra.
And with that, I go, gotcha! And look around.
A few people sort of raise their drinks in this VIP area. Yeah, gotcha. And they slam down a drink, not really knowing what you're on about.
Cool.
As Echo and Echo and Aaron come out of the room.
I forgot how long all lasts, but if it is out, I would like to put it up.
Okay, you can put it up.
And go up to Sophie.
On your way over to Sophie, Aaron, just before you get out of the corridor of where Echo's room is, your phone goes off. If it's not on, if it's on silent, it'll just be a vibrate.
No, it would go off.
Okay,
Probably.
It goes off. Just a text or a text.
Yeah.
You see a pic of the fancy new knife, and then a message attached to it says, it's from June, just arrived. See you tomorrow night. And then bloop, a small video text comes up with just the play icon showing.
I turn the volume all the way down and then hit play.
The video starts. It's a point of view video, maybe a helmet cam. You can see the tank of the 2006 Daytona 675. It shows the speedometer at 230 k's as the bike is hurtling down a long straight, going absolutely mad. And you can see just as the lights are whizzing by, she takes a hot corner. No sound, obviously, so you can see the bike lays over to the side. She lifts it back up, and then just her thumbs up in front of the camera. As you can see that 230 kilometers on that clock.
So, stand back. Shit hot. That's what you're riding tomorrow?
She texts back, "Yep, don't know how I'm going to collect those poker cards."
And so, don't know how you're going to survive the cornering at that speed, but this is going to be fun.
No replies.
Yeah, I just put the phone away. It's like, crap, I've got to find a good bike.
Echo, you're heading with Aaron towards Sophia. Pip, you've been moving around from Vicky to Zane, having a chat. Where are you at the current point in time?
So I'm with Vicky at the moment. I think I had something to do. It was something we were doing. I think I need to go and catch up with someone. Was it murder? No. My friends are all growly at the moment. Did you notice? Ah. Mr. Riviera, he's a sweetheart though. I think Mr. Spencer went that way, and Miss Monroe went that way.
You do what you have to do. You've got to adhere to rules.
Yeah, rules. I think I will go see Mrs. Monroe.
And there she is there, as Echo and Aaron come out into the main floor.
So what are we doing?
Okay, Pip, we are quietly and stealthily going to talk to Sophie in the office. Do you want to come, or do you want to find Jackson, or maybe distract her guards with Zane?
I can help. And he sort of straightens himself up. I'll help.
All right, she's got 2 guards. So you can either...
She has 4.
She has 4 guards.
2 to the rear, like beside her on the seat wall, that's where they were, and 2 in front of her. But as you approach, she's now standing, lightly dancing with one of your publishers back and forth. The music's barely audible in this section, but she's dancing. Her phone goes off. She looks at it and places it back in her clutch purse and carries on. Guards basically 4 corners of her. She's moving all the time as you approach. You have all active. She too has her own or active.
I will raise my hand as proper etiquette to show that I want to speak with her when she is finished. As I kind of sidestep to Zane a little while I wait.
She turns to see you and she says, Echo, such a lovely party we're having here. I absolutely adore the masquerade ball idea. And you can see she's still wearing that purple velvet mask that's tied under her hair. She gives Aaron a nod. It's nice to see you again.
Your dress is amazing, Sophie. I love it.
Oh, thank you. So is yours, Echo. It's
Ah,
beautiful.
Thank
The
you.
plain white has always been up there in one of my favorite colors.
Well, I found out that you kind of deal with antiquities, and I have just recently gotten a gift from the prince himself, and it has a date on it. But I'd really like you to come look at it privately. Like, tell me what you think, if you would like to purchase it or give me an estimate.
Oh, interesting. Okay. And she sort of lets go of the man dancing with her. She says, I'll catch you shortly. She moves over closer to the bench that she was sitting on before with her 4 guards around her, and she says, come this way.
I'm going to look at Aaron and Pip and quickly, not quickly, just casually walk towards the office with her.
Oh, I don't. Oh, we're going somewhere else.
Well, I left the pen at my desk 'cause I didn't know how valuable it was. I didn't want to be showing it around because, there's not just Kindredria, there's other people.
Well, I'm actually here for 2 reasons, Echo, and she doesn't go any further. She stays by the bar, waves the waiter to bring her a drink. I was actually going to speak strictly with you, but seeing as the rest of your coterie are here, and in light of recent events, the attack on Elysium, she sort of keeps her voice low as she mentions that, I will extend my offer to you all. Where is the lovely Jax? Anywhere near?
I believe he went outside. We can go get him if you like.
Well, I do have a meeting with him myself. I can extend the offer to him then. It is fine. If you want to send a messenger for him, you may.
Zane, how you doing? You wanna give him a call?
Do I have to?
Be a dear and give him a call.
I don't want to.
Zane.
Saying, give me the number and I'll call him.
Here.
So I put the phone, go to Jax's, replace that number with the other one, and then call him and put him on speaker.
Yep. Jax, your phone goes at the front of the boat.
I don't have caller ID on this phone because it's a new phone. I look at the number.
I would
Oh,
guess
I
because
guess you
it's
probably
Zane's
would,
phone,
yeah.
so you may
I probably would
know
know the
his
number.
number by heart by now.
Definitely with the amount of times I've seen it.
The amount of times you tried to call it.
So I look at my phone and see Zane's number and just think to myself, not now, and I ignore it. Did it go to voicemail?
It goes to voicemail, Aaron.
All right, so I say...
And it's generic voicemail. I haven't even put a proper voicemail in it yet.
Yeah, I just go, Jax, it's Aaron. Sophie wants to have a impromptu meeting with us all. We're at insert place. Because I don't know exactly where we are at the present second on the boat.
Yeah, you're on the second deck, which is the VIP area.
Yeah, well, okay. We're in the VIP bar, I'd say. Come when you get the message. And then I'd hang up. And because it's through the Zane network, it probably would send an annoying text message just after that.
All right. So, Jax, you will get that voicemail message. You have a voicemail. And with that, we will just take a 5-minute break and we'll be right back. back.
And we're back.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. So, where do we leave off? That's right. So, Echo and Aaron had walked up to Sophia with Pip at their heels. Zane got a message, some bits and pieces going on. Jax ignored his phone. Sophia says, it's okay. Like I said, I have a meeting with him tomorrow. I can fill him in on any details. Like I said, I'm here to offer, in light of recent events, offer you some security. It's a common word we're using currently. You have had issues at Elysium. We've heard of the initial attack on the Prince, and now the attack at Elysium in the last night, which myself and the other Anarch leaders were lucky or well timed to avoid. And I feel like you and your coterie, Miss Munro, would be better off working for something a little more stable. So I'd like that you work for me. You can carry on this charade of the Hounds for our lovely Prince, if that is what you wish to do. But you look to me more like mercenaries willing to work for coin than Hounds working strictly for the Prince. I do detect a sense of dissension in your ranks, just the way you look at each other, your body language, the way you talk, which tells me, and I don't mean with each other, but I mean with the Camarilla, which tells me that you might be open to negotiations. And earlier this evening, Mr. Spencer came to see me about a particular sword. Now, I don't mind doing business if we can do business properly. Then, if we are, well, if you're all willing to work for me on occasion, we could figure something out, I'm sure. So don't answer me now if you don't need to, but that is where I stand.
Well, I would like to discuss it with you. We can look at the pen. And I also have a little news about Elysium myself that I'd like to offer to you and to my coterie. So I have just come upon it tonight.
Are we to all go to your office then?
If you like, if that's what you're comfortable with, I want you to be comfortable.
A person in my length of time on this earth and knowing the way we are, I always take my guard, as you see, and there's strength in numbers. So I don't mind if you want to bring your coterie and I shall bring mine.
All right, very well. And I'll walk and I will ask her casual questions about her I offer as we head into the office if the rest of them want to follow.
What? We going? What? Where are we going? Oh, I'm following you. Okay.
Yeah. Oh. Echo.
Echo. As when I get to the office, I will have a box on the desk, but the pen I'll slip into from my garter up to my hand, and pretend I'm opening the box.
So I think you're going to need to make a roll.
I feel like I am.
I would say manipulation and probably subterfuge if that suits you.
Okay. Is it social or no? It's not really social, is it? It's just kind of sneaky.
Yeah, you're being sneaky.
Okay.
She will roll intelligence and awareness. Anyone else can roll intelligence awareness as well. Don't forget those hunger dice.
Yes. That is a 6.
She has
But now I'm worried. Should I reroll? Let me roll power. I'm not gonna. No.
You know, no need to from her. She doesn't take any notice as the guards lead her over to one of the chairs in the room, just back from the desk. They stand 2 behind, 2 in front of her. What did you get, Aaron? 5.
5, yeah.
So no, Echo manages to slip past everyone by the looks of that.
I got 6.
You got 6. Pip, with your keen eye, you do spot nothing exact. You just spot a little something going on. You can see Echo take something from her, what looks to be maybe waistline, and then picks up the box. Hard to get an exact, as you got the same as her. But you saw something go on.
So I'd be able to tell she's trying to be sneaky?
I would think so, yeah.
I will go up to the closest guard to me and did you want a hug? Like, I'm not much of a hugger and I'm trying new things. And I was wondering if maybe you...
If you touch me, I will shoot you.
I've been shot before.
If you touch me, I will shoot you twice.
Twice?
That seems a bit mean. Just offering a hug.
I do not wish to be hugged.
As he's doing this, I'm going to bring it close with the pen in the box, but my hands are like that on it.
Okay.
So that she can see it. And the minute she reaches out, I'm going to Stygian Cloud.
So, all this happens. As you step forward with the box, your hands open. She looks at it and she says, she does not reach out. She says, "And what do you wish for this piece, Miss Munro?"
Well, I would like to know its value first.
Oh, I would have thought if you're trying to sell something, you might have an idea of value yourself.
Well, I know it's from the prince, and I feel like there's more to it than just a pen.
You could be right. Emerson, have a look at it. One of the guards steps forward.
And then I'll do Stygian Cloud.
Stygian Cloud now.
Yep.
Okay.
Because she's within reach, right? If I'm
She
close.
would be within arm length of you if that's you moved in close. Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Stygian Cloud, which I think is a rouse check.
It is indeed.
That's a success.
Okay.
And I have a D10 too, so. And I'm good, so.
So, instantly from you, darkness just like an aura just pulses out of you. It sort of blankets everything around in gloom, darkness, as if someone just turned all the lights out. All sounds are now muffled and indistinct. You guys, any noises made here is as if you've been smothered by a pillow or something. Breathing, for those who have to breathe, is not so good. I don't believe anyone in this room is going to have that issue. So, how far does it spread? What's your oblivion rating?
Mine is at 4.
4?
I would like to, if I'm able to contain it with just the room, I'd like to contain it, but
it will be just in the room.
And then I would like to jab her in the neck with a pen.
So it's basically a 4 meter sort of area.
Mm.
You can see clearly. I need to check Sophia for a second here. Give me a moment. She cannot see it all, but she activates an ability of her own.
Shit.
She needs to make 2 rouse checks. It's all happening instantly. She gets nothing and nothing on the rouse checks. That means she goes up 2 hunger. You would see her eyes flash. You need to make a composure and resolve check. Everyone in this space that can see Sophia Hall, or that could see Sophia Hall, Actually, the rest of you are in Stygian Cloud. You can't see squat. So unless you can see through Stygian Cloud, you don't have to make this check. Composure and Resolve, Echo, versus my... And... All right, give me a second. I got a few dice to roll here. Oh, not as good as I'd hoped. She's going to use her willpower to re-roll some dice. I have 7 successes. Echo, what'd you get?
I got 5.
5. She's still swallowed in the Stygian clouds. She cannot see. It's quite clear. But you're in her presence now, and she has amplified her looks, her feelings, everything about her to the maximum level. You find her monstrously terrifying. As she stands up, it feels like she's looming over you. You are struck by her image and you have trouble continuing what you're doing. You feel like this is the wrong cause, the wrong path to take. As much as prior to this you felt the opposite, she has basically, she's tried to say something that hasn't come out, but you can see with her the way she has just projected herself now. You want to back it down. You want to turn it off.
I'm going to think to Isaac, help, because I'm scared.
Isaac, you get the scared help call in your mind.
With the cloud, considering that I am in the
Closet.
wardrobe cupboard, would notice any of that seep through any of the cracks?
Echo tried to keep it to the room space, so I don't feel like it's going to move through. And reading it's covering the surfaces of everything in the room in that area. So no, at this point, I'd say the minute you open the door, however, then it's going to not engulf you, but you're going to be able to see. It'll be just black, like a black haze, shadowy haze.
Radio. So as my initial movement, I will bring up my cane, push my little button to reveal a sword.
Yes.
And then I am going to run the sword blade across my arm.
Okay.
And I am going to use Scorpion's Touch.
Nice.
So that's a rouse check.
Yep. So make the rouse check.
Which is fine.
You're just using one rouse check worth.
Yes. Yes. Actually, hang on. Each rouse check.
Yeah, so you can transmute more of your blood, I guess, into that same poison.
Yeah, actually, yeah. So how does this is because there's all these rouse checks. This is slightly different to the thing. So how many is that up to your blood potency?
Yeah, so I guess that's how I would play it, up to your blood potency.
Okay, so I'll roll for a second one. Which that one is fine as well.
Good.
So that's 2 success, two fine on the rouse checks.
You don't get any hungrier.
So while that's happening, Yep. Okay. So that should coat the blade with a paralytic poison.
It does indeed. You've coated your blade. What do you wish to do with the blade?
I will wait until my next, when I'm able to next move.
Okay.
So that would essentially take if there was an action, that would be the whole round of movement.
That's all good. No problem. Then we're going to go around the table. So Zane, did you come into the room as well? I believe you did. So what are you doing in this black cloud that you cannot see through?
What's going on? I'm talking out loud, and obviously I can't really hear myself either, can I?
So that's what would happen. You would open your mouth and just hear more of a, and that's pretty much what anyone else even nearby you would hear. You can hear the same mumbles coming back from Sophia's guards or whoever is making noise around you. Just muffled calls. Nothing. Everything seems so far away in this black shadow, this black cloud.
And with that, because I'm probably shitting my pants right about now, I'll go Cloak of Shadows.
All right. Well, that is free. No one can see you, so as far as you're concerned, you've blended into the surrounding. Echo, you're looking at Sophia, so I don't think Zane would be in your direct line of sight for this. Just so you're aware, Echo too, I took the 3 dice penalty on Stygian Cloud as well. So there's anyone who's rolling in Stygian Cloud has to take a penalty. Aaron, also amongst the cloud. Now you were nearest Echo. You and Pip were fairly close, I believe, when the shadow spewed out.
As soon as the shadow would have started, I would have activated what's it called again? Eyes of the Beast.
Eyes of the Beast.
Which will allow me to see through the supernatural darkness.
Yes, including supernatural. Yes, so you can see.
I can see perfectly, and in Discord I put my composure and resolve roll.
I did not even see that.
Which apparently is 9. So yeah, I think I saved.
Sweet. I actually don't see that in Discord. Nonetheless, 9 is a save, yes.
Yep.
So just check on Sophia's power. Yeah, so you can see that she is looking pretty damn intimidating, but you are not intimidated by her.
Excellent. So I would pull out my new little present from Mick and shoot her in the head.
Oh, keen as mustard. Right, so that's all at the same time, so we'll resolve that shot in a second. Pip, in this dark cloud, what are you doing?
So Pip says, man, shit got hairy quick. And then as soon as
all
he
you hear
realizes
is
he can't hear it, he sort of like tests the voice in his own head. He's like, I can hear this though. Yeah, you can hear this, Pip, it's fine. And then I'm going to try and remember where the closest cupboard or wardrobe is, and I'm going to try and find my way and hide in there.
So you're pushing disoriented in the darkness. I would say this is a tough one. So this is going to be, give me a resolve investigation, please.
Mm-hmm. Investigation. It's 3 successes.
Nice, it's enough. So you have a pretty good memory when it comes to things. You're not so good at the social aspect of things, but remembering where you were in the room, closing your eyes and just pushing through the darkness as best you can. However, in the Stygian Cloud, you make rolls at -2, so unfortunately, that takes you down to 1. You have a rough idea of where to go, but as you push through the cloud, you're a little offset. You tag a wall and you can't feel a door.
And then he just thinks to himself, this'll do. And then I'm going to do Cloak of Shadows.
Right. Cloak of Shadows is a good idea. No rouse check needed. As far as you're concerned, you're obfuscated in the darkness. Aaron, yours would have been at -2, but you would have still passed, so no worries. Jackson, out on the front of the boat. We're going to just move away from this for a short second. You don't hear nor see any of this going on out where you are, but it's beautiful, fine, clear air. That fog I talked about has rolled in heavy and thick at the lower deck of the boat. It's now lapping over the front edges of the boat. It almost seems like the night gets a wee bit darker. By a wee bit, I mean a lot. And then you see them, cockroaches, on the handrails, on the front of the deck, moving around back and forth in a swarming manner. Waves, torrents of them with the fog. They wash over your arm. Then they wash across the top of the boat and down again. And you look down and can see one cockroach still on your arm, on the suit jacket you're wearing. Give me a wits awareness, please, Jax.
My best roll.
It's not a very high outcome.
2.
2 is good. 1 was all you needed. As the cockroaches wash over you, you notice one has been left behind. Tied to that one is a small piece of brown wax string. And there's a tiny little stained piece of rolled paper attached to it.
I will retrieve said piece of paper.
It's pretty easy. The cockroach gives no, it doesn't stop you. It doesn't fly away. And as you retrieve the piece of paper and roll it open, it's a very small, as you roll it out, it's just tiny, rolled up piece of paper, but it reads clearly. Friday, midnight, Pentridge Prison, Van Diemen.
I will pocket said paper. And at this point, I think Jackson's heard nothing via text from his people or anyone else. He's going to dive overboard.
You just had the voicemail.
I don't even bother looking at
that. Cool. You dive overboard.
Go for a stroke.
It's a few meters down to the ocean, but clearly a good swimmer, and you don't need to breathe. So with no hassles, you'll get back to the shore. It will take, you're like 500 meters out, so you're going to take a little bit to get back there. None of the guards seem to be bothered by it, and you know most of the security. And when you come up on shore, I assume you're not going to come up amongst heaps of people anyway.
And from there, Jax will probably head back to his own haven.
Anything electronic in your pockets, your earpiece, your phone?
Everything, yeah.
Be pretty buggered. Yep.
Jax isn't worried.
Not worried? All right. Okay, we'll leave you there for now, Jax. Back in the room. I'm going to try and resolve this all sort of happenings at one time. Isaac, you can't see anything at this point. You've put the poison on the blade. A second or two has passed, you hear a thud against the wall nearby, within a meter probably. Echo, you've sent this mind message to Isaac, but you're still in the viewpoint of Sophia. She's still very commanding. Do you pull back the cloud or leave it as is?
I still have my presence up as well, yeah?
You do.
And I can't fight her. Can I try to get the pen even though I'm frightened? No.
It would be at a negative. You could try, but it would be at a negative value. So whatever your pull would be, you would lose some of your dice pool.
All right. Let's see. I'm going to keep it up, I think. And I'm going to try and leg swipe one of her guards.
Try and leg sweep one of her guards.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a strength and brawl, please.
Okay. That's not very good.
Don't forget those hunger dice.
I got a critical, so 3.
You did better than him. He doesn't see it coming, and he's at -3. So you leg sweep. The guard that told Pip he was going to shoot him was the one you sweep. He drops to his back on the ground, but you just hear, you see him go, but the noise, okay, you probably hear everything normally. Anyone else would just hear the faint muffled sound of a thud, and that would be it. He bangs his head, and he's scrambling around on the floor trying to find anything to sort of allow him to see.
All right.
He's down. Aaron, he's not back in his seat. We'll come back. Oh, no,
he's
there he
here.
is. Aaron, you pull the trigger. Aaron needs to give me a dexterity firearms as his gun goes off right as Echo sweeps.
Yeah, I'm gonna burn a willpower on that one.
Sweet. Pip, no, you don't.
That would be 4 successes.
Would be 4, and Sophia. And at -2, she's a 4. So it's the equivalent. You've shot her directly at the head. As she's been commanding presence, not seeing anything, she's sort of swinging around wildly. You don't catch her in the head. You catch her on the neck. But that round is enough to do some damage. She screams. You see the scream as she opens her mouth wide and just lets out what you hear in the muffled distance. It sounds like a child screaming from behind 2 closed closet doors. Echo, you get everything, though. You hear the scream. You see the poison, not the poison, the acids burn through her. It's burning the skin. It's peeling up her neck, the side of her face. Aaron, you can see it's having the effect, probably not as good as if you'd shot her directly in the head, but it's having a good effect. Zane, you're clouded in the black fog. Anything else you'd like to do?
Yeah, not much I can do. I'm not good at much.
Okay. Pip, same with question for you.
So Pip's just up against the wall and he's still thinking to make sure he can still hear himself. I wonder where Mr. Spencer is. Could use his help right now. Maybe he's reading a good book. What kind of book would Mr. Spencer like? And he just sort of leave himself with that thought for a while.
All right. As you feel around, are you still moving along the wall, feeling your way along the wall?
Yeah, I'm sort of like on the floor and sort of like just crab shuffling, trying to find somewhere to go.
Okay. So, Isaac, the next thing you see is Pip's arm, whether you'd recognize it as Pip or not, an arm, stick through the shadow and come into the closet. Pip, you feel the difference of room to room.
Just note he does have Cloak of Shadows up.
Oh, good point. He has Cloak of Shadows up. Isaac, unfortunately, I take that back. Retract. You don't see him come in, but Pip, you feel the difference in the room. Thank you, Zane. Appreciate that.
So the cupboard door has opened,
Yes, like his hand pushes the door open.
and so clearly I will see the cloud.
You would now see the black cloud, yes.
In which case, then I would then activate Sense the Unseen.
All right. Sense the Unseen. Let me double check that.
So since the
Free.
vampire become attuned to dimension beyond the mundane, allowing them to sense the presence otherwise hidden from the naked eye. So I'm assuming with the cloud being supernatural, similar to obfuscate.
Yes, it specifically says similar to obfuscate. So I would say, yes, you can see through that, unless you have another reasoning as to why he wouldn't. So you can now see the chaos going in amongst the cloud. Guards sort of waving their arms around. Two of them have weapons out, guns drawn, but they're not willing to shoot. They're calling, but it's all muffled. You can hear the cries. You can see a guard on the ground as Echo's tripped him, and you can see that Aaron has fired the weapon, and you can see Sophia's neck is dissolving to bone.
So Isaac would then, so would her back be turned to me?
Yes, you would be.
I mean, even though she can't hear me. So what Isaac wants to do is walk up and do coup de grace across Sophia.
Across her neck, yep.
With the poison blade.
All right. So this would give Aaron, you fired one shot. You would see Isaac come through the cupboard now. You have time for another shot. This can happen simultaneously if you like.
I would actually turn to a guard and shoot him instead.
Okay. So, Isaac, you can make your coup de grace, but your dice pool will be at -3 in the cloud, as will Aaron's. So, whatever dice you have, -3 from him. But it'll be a strength melee for yours, and Aaron...
with the Scorpion's touch is actually strength plus blood
strength,
potency
blood
versus stamina versus occult.
Sweet as. So you make that, and Aaron, you'll be firing the firearms again, the same roll as before.
Or fortitude if they have fortitude.
Okay.
That is 4 for Isaac.
4 for Isaac, nice. Okay, she fails her roll, and you're shooting at the guard, Aaron. What did you get?
I got another 4.
And crit. Nice, he fails. You shoot that guard directly in the head?
Yeah, I'd be going for headshots because that's going to do the job quickest.
So you would see Isaac go for Sophia around the neck. At the same time, bang, you just lay it into one of her guards straight into the head. You see the head just dissolve, and then the vampire, the kindred guard, falls to ash instantly. The sword to Sophia's neck, she can't take anymore. She's already falling to her knees as her head comes away quite easily. Easier than you'd expect, Isaac, but a lot to do with that acid. I would say you'd be careful not to stick your hand in said acid, knowing exactly what's going on. She drops, head falls to the ground. More ash. I say ash lightly. They dissolve. The flesh almost rots instantly and then becomes ash. There are 3 guards still alive, 1 laying on the ground.
So with that, would Echo react to that ability stop Echo? Or that's negate what Echo is under?
So Echo, yes, correct. Now the majesty that Sophia was using will not affect you anymore. You no longer have this source of what was causing that to you. You have complete control, and you've seen, because you can see through your cloud, you've seen Aaron and Isaac both do their moves. No, the clothing does not become ash.
Yes, okay.
So knowing Isaac would then just say, she's dead, who's next? And then that'll finish what he needs to do for now.
Okay, so Echo, you'll be the only one who hears that with your cloud still up.
I'm going to keep the cloud up because I am interested in keeping this sound suppressed from the other guests on this boat, just in case someone wants to fire something again. So I'm keeping it up and using the pen now on the guard that has fallen on the ground.
All right. Now, I believe the poison in the pen, Isaac, you have to make a roll for that.
Yes. Now, would this still have to wait until my next turn, or can we do this now?
So she's using the pen so that it becomes a part of her turn, so we can do that now.
Okay. So the moment that pen is injected into the guard's body, Isaac will start. And only Echo will hear this because it's all suppressed within the cloud.
Correct.
Isaac will be just saying some arcana words as he's speaking now. Being that this is a level 3, I believe that's going to take. Right, first of all, I need to make another rouse check.
So rouse check first. Yep.
Which I'm okay.
It's good. No more hunger.
So this is going to take 15 minutes because it's 5 minutes per level.
Okay.
Unless we want to just go on by the rules in the book, that's how long it's going to take.
So
but I need to make an intelligence blood sorcery.
Yes. And
which is my wheelhouse.
What's my opposed to that? Does it say in front of you?
Actually, no. Hang on. Let me read my other bit just in case it actually says something.
While that's going on, I'll just get.
Oh, okay. So so you for this particular system, you will roll oppose for the number of undamaged health boxes.
Ah, sweet. Good to know.
2, 3, 4. Blood sorcery is another 3.
Aaron, you can make a roll for another shot.
And my blood surge will add another 2.
I'd actually put away the gun.
Oh, you put it away?
Yeah. Activate feral weapons and then do a melee attack at the next guard.
Okay, so give me strength melee for that, thanks, and we'll resolve this Isaac's attack, or Isaac's poison, Echo's attack.
All right.
And I'll come back to you. So I've got a crit 4-5 with the crit. 5 successes on my life.
Okay, so I also get a 5, including the crit.
Sweet, so you win.
Now, with what happens with that particular one, if I actually crit, a crit is a immediate success and incapacitates the vampire.
Correct. So you have an immediate success. The incapacitate is pretty much just putting him out of commission. I would say he is, for all intents and purposes, as if he is in torpor. Echo, you jam that pin and squeeze it in, and that's exactly what happens. The one on the ground just lays limp, eyes open, not quite dead, not quite undead, not quite final death is what I meant to say. Aaron, what did you get?
9.
Man, I can't even roll that unless I roll all crits. I'm going to say, easily enough done. You slice through this other kindred guard. There is only one guard left. Aaron, give me a description of how you're attacking him.
I pretty much go up and stick my hand into his throat and sever his head.
Much like the way that Timothy did it to the prince.
Yeah.
Gangrel, eh? And with that, his head is removed. Same thing, the skin instantly begins to rot, it falls to the floor, and all that is left is clothes and weaponry. Pip, you've pushed through your arm into this space that feels like a room. You felt something move past you.
I wonder if he wanted a hug. And then the other voice in my head goes, Pip, you have something for this. Think about it. And then I will activate Sense the Unseen. Oh, yeah.
And that is how Pip is learning. So you activate the same ability that Isaac has up, and now you can see through the cloud on your hands and knees still?
Yep.
You can now see through this cloud, and you can see you were just about out of it at the closet area.
So I roll wits or specs?
Only if it's something hidden in plain sight. You're trying to look through. I'll say probably should. Yeah, probably should. Roll wits or specs.
Ooh, Jesus. 1, 2, 3, 7.
7. Yeah, you. I would say if Eco, if you're happy, I think you rolled a 6 initially. He would be able to see through that now.
Yep.
Here's a friendly, so it probably matters less. So with that, Pip, you're able to see the less chaos now, more clothing and ash on the ground. One guard is left standing, swinging his gun around. He actually begins to fire blind. He's got to that point where it's been too long. It's been sort of 5 to 10 seconds, and he doesn't know what's going on. So he reaches forward where he thinks he saw something, and he fires blind. I'm going to roll some dice, and we're going to find out who he might or might not get. And it's how many's in the room? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Zane. Can you see in this space? I do not believe you can.
Nope.
Okay. For the others of you, you see he whirls around facing Zane's direction. Oh, Zane's in cloud. No one can see him. He is covered by his own obscurity. Now, since the unseen, if you're in now, there's a lot going on here. If Zane's in, if you've got Sense the Unseen up and Zane's in Cloak of Shadows, those with Sense the Unseen,
I think it sees through it.
yeah, would be
Yeah.
able to see through it.
Depending on the
Eco-
level, yeah.
Eco won't be able to. You Cloak of Shadows is level 1, and Sense the Unseen is also level 1. So I'm just going to give, because the person, so the guard, he can't see squat. He's just firing blind, but the others of you might react. So you have a chance to react to those who can see him. I would say Isaac, Pip, unfortunately, Echo, you can only see through your darkness. I doubt you'd be able to see through his. Aaron, your sight would allow you that.
I wouldn't see Zane.
You wouldn't see Zane?
Yeah, he would be invisible to me. I can see through darkness and
Okay, yeah, just
supernatural
his
darkness,
darkness,
but not the cloak.
Sweet. Okay, good to know. So just Pip and Isaac. Zane, would you? You can't see. Yeah. So Pip and Isaac, you see the gun swing around. You have a split second to make a reaction to do something if you wish.
People would jump up and tackle hug. Say, I don't know if he'd get there on time because he's on the floor, but.
So give me a dexterity athletics.
Sorry, Zane.
Isaac, anything from you?
So with this one that's firing, how close proximity?
It's within about 3 meters.
So I literally would have to walk over.
Yeah, so good point, because where you were with Sophia, you would have to walk about. Yeah, you would definitely. You're not as close as Pip. You've come through the door to Sophia, so yes.
So what Isaac is going to do, because I believe once I'm not quite sure how long the scorpion lasts. It says, hang on, let me just double check. Oh, remains for the scene. Okay, so it remains potent for the scene. Yep. Isaac is going to slit again across his wrist, and this time he's going to walk over and put his hand on the gun and use corrosive vitae.
Okay, so Pip's tackled the guy. You're going to put your hand on the gun with corrosive vitae. you will need to make that dexterity athletics to get there quick enough as well. If you're going to be moving and making the slice at the same time. What did you get, Pip?
I got 2, which I believe is -2, which is 0. And I was going for Zane. I was going to give Zane a tackle hug.
Yeah,
Try and get him out of the way.
So in the cloud, your dice pool is -2.
Yeah, so 0.
It's 0. Okay, so you go for the tackle, but the guard's sort of wildly swinging and shooting, and you just, not that you miss him, you sort of grab his coat, but you don't quite get him flat on. It's not enough to put him down. It's almost like hitting the rugby guy's side from the side, not quite getting it square. Isaac.
-2, is it?
Yeah, -2 to your pool.
3.
3. Right. You get there in time, and you're able to dissolve the gun. No need to do any more rolls. It's just a rouse check for that poison, is it?
Yeah, it's just a rouse check. Yep, sorry. Which I passed that one.
Sweet. Still no hungrier. You're having a lucky night. And you are able to start, it basically starts dissolving the weapon in his hands. He drops it. And with that, Zane, you don't take any damage because the firing misses. As he's firing, Pip jumps at him. Isaac grabs at the gun, and the gun goes off, but it fires high, misses you altogether, Zane. You sort of hear that as the bullet comes closely by your ear.
What was that? What?
Echo. You've plunged this man, Kindred, on the ground with your poison pen. He seems to be lifeless, eyes open, seems to be lifeless.
And I'm going to move for the one that I see Isaac dissolving the gun with. I'm going to Oblivion's touch at his eyes, which causes 2 aggravated and a crippling injury. So I want to blind him.
Nice. 2 aggravated, you say?
Mm.
Okay.
And I need to make a rouse check.
You need to make, I'm just reading it now. You need to make a rouse check. So how'd you go?
Wait, a rouse check's all 3 of my hunger, right? Or just 1?
No, just 1 blood die.
Just 1, yeah.
I failed.
So your hunger goes up to 4. This is your party. And these people have come here, and as far as you're concerned, Sophia came here with acidic thoughts. She wasn't doing this because she enjoyed your book. She wasn't here for that. She was here to just make you seem less than her. She had her oar up. She was a dick. And you're not having a bar of this. That hunger rises, it wells up in you, and you are not quite, the beast hasn't quite taken over yet. But you definitely want to put this dude down. So you're trying to blind him, did you say?
Yes.
What were you using? Shadow perspective, was it?
It was a touch of Oblivion.
Touch of Oblivion, sorry. Okay, so you've made physical contact across his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
You would hear him scream in the cloud. Everyone else would just hear that muffled sound. It's almost like you've taken jumper leads and stuck them to his eyes. Smoke pours off, sparks of white and blue as he screams out in pain, and the eyes just almost bubble away under your fingers as you touch and hold, and you can feel the gelatin warm and sticky as his eyes bubble away on your fingers. He stops screaming. He's not dead. It's not final death, but he is very close.
I'm going to continue to drive my fingers through the sockets, waiting for my team to finish him off.
We won't play any further with this. It'll be easy enough for any of you to finish him off at this stage. Strength of vampires, you have the numbers. I will say everyone here is unable to fight back now, whether they be dead in a torpor-like state, paralyzed, or piles of rotted ash on the ground. They can no longer reply. Back out on the boat. None of you are there. Jackson on the wharf. You make a call to your team. You said, you sent me a message here. Who are you calling? Oh, I see. Francis or Phillips? Joe. Yep, Joe's. Okay. And Joe answers. He says, yes, sir. Busy night. An address, yes. Okie dokie. Who are you after? Yeah. Okay, so you're looking for one of the other Anarch barons that was there in the meeting night?
They're saying they can't hear you on stream, Evil.
Nope, they can't. So yeah, basically looking for the address and the phone number of the other Anarch Baron that was at the meeting, the one that seemed a little more receptive.
Yes, okay. And there were two other Anarch barons here, but I know who you mean. Name eludes me right now, but I will.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but I'm Jackson probably doesn't know his name either, but
should write a list of names down for myself. So with that, he says, yep, will do, sir. He calls you Jackson. Will do, Jackson. I will get that to you as soon as I can. I'll get some guys on it right now.
And I'll need a new phone.
Oh, yeah, your phone sounds funny. What are you calling me on?
I'm in a payphone. Long story. Look, I'll come by the office, grab a new phone on my way to deal with some things.
A payphone? That's...
Yeah, don't even, dude. It's been a night.
Okay. And he hangs up.
And then I make another phone call to Philip, I believe was the one that was making the report for me.
Mr. Phillips, yes.
And ask him how he's getting on with the said report. Is it done?
Sorry, that was Peterson. Peterson was the report. I'm with him now. So he says, yeah, it's pretty much finished. It's just been hard trying to put that all into words for you.
All good. Leave it on my desk. Pick it up soon.
Yep. Which office? Because the main one is kind of in the girdler.
At the alternative haven. You know where to go.
Will do. Done and dusted.
And we'll hang up from that and make one final phone call to the sheriff.
Sweet. Marco answers.
Sheriff Marco. That report I'll have for you tomorrow night.
Excellent.
Yeah, 10 p.m. I'll come in. Where are you situated? I mean, Elysium's still compromised, I assume.
Yes, we're at a secondary compound. I can't disclose over the phone. I will get a message to you.
Send an email to... I'll give him an email address.
I'll send a runner. It might be easier.
I'll then give him a drop point for said runner where Francis will meet him.
Sweet. It's easier at the moment to stay clear of any of that stuff. With Elysium being compromised twice in a short period of time, we're not taking any precautions while we set up anew.
Couple of things. One, my report will also include my own suspicions. Do with that what you will. Second thing, after I've seen you and given you said report, last you hear.
Going to ground, are you?
Say that. You may see me again, not in the context of...
Okay. Is there anything I can say to sway your mind?
Not really. Might want to check in on Hounds.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All
And
good.
we'll eventually walk to where he'd parked his motorcycle and head out to retrieve the bits and pieces he needs to retrieve before.
Sweet as. Just before we end tonight, we're going to head back to the boat once again. All of you have finished up in the room, the minor battle that had just happened. Just quickly, do you pick up everything, clean it up? What's the deal here?
Isaac would immediately be doing any cleanup to make sure that nothing can be traced back. Obviously, being the clan that he is, he would know of people with similar abilities that will be able to ascertain what happened here if they need to.
Okay. Easy enough done.
I will be grabbing that dress and those shoes, and I will ask Sam to that I need cleanup in the office.
Sweet. Yes, obviously Sam is out the door, but that's no hassle as well. Pip.
And Pip's on the ground and he'll look up. That's Alan Croft. Much more handsome on the cover though. He's kind of pasty looking. Is that a power? Can we summon people from books? And I'll go up and start poking Alan in the face. He's kind of...
Oh, this is Pip, Mr. Graves, Isaac. This is the inspiration for my purely fictional and not real character.
Is he?
Yeah, he's just just like the book. Yeah.
And Aaron, what do you do up to?
Looting the box, the bodies, because that's what all good D&Ders do.
D&D. There's so much gold coins. Eco, sorry.
Does she have her remotes on her?
She does have her remotes in her clutch purse.
I will definitely not touch those, but I will tell the Zane and them the remotes for the safe.
Cool. Aaron.
And after all the trouble I went to just to clone them. Wow. Wow.
Aaron, you find...
That's all good.
2 standard handguns. I'm not going to whip a name out of my pocket because I didn't have any prepared, but I will get that to you, what they are. And 2 spare clips on each one. Not many of them have been fired, so the clip that's in them is also full. They have wallets with visas and not much in the way of cash and stuff. Identification, their licenses, things like that. And you would know, because they are kindred and you are kindred, you would know that they're probably forgeries of some description. Other than that, just the suits that they left behind.
Visas as in credit cards.
Correct.
I personally would be keeping hold of all the wallets.
So you get 4 wallets and Sophia's clutch purse if you wish.
The clutch purse, I'd probably go through the clutch purse, take any identification, cash, all that type of stuff out, but just leave the remotes and give them to Zane.
Sweet. So Zane, that brings me to you. You got remotes and a clutch purse. A nice purple gem-studded clutch purse.
Here, Pip, you can have that. I'll take that. Any cards? Oh, wow. No cards? Any cards?
So Aaron has the wallets and anything that was card-like?
Yes, I have all the cards, Zane.
I have one.
All the cards.
Can I have one?
That
Maybe
bitch
2.
gave me grief. I should... Yeah.
Maybe. We'll see.
2?
We'll see. We'll see.
Your discussion is interrupted by a scream from the main deck. It's pretty much midnight about now. And when the scream goes off, You hear multiple, and there's a few hundred people probably in the totality of the bottom two decks. Multiple murmurs, people sort of shouting. Anyone looking out the window about now, over to the deck, would see as a greyish blue mist flows over the back end of the Seporum Sanguinis. The lights at that end of the boat flicker out, on, off, and then out as the mist trails over the edge of the boat. You can see people with phones up, sort of looking around. Their phones turn to static and shut off. Some of the guests start to pull back and move in towards the bar areas, and a low hush now comes over the deck. The music stops playing as everyone's beginning to see this. A hand up onto the boat. Water runs down onto the deck. A second hand reaches up. More guests start moving back. Some of them are bashing their phones against their hands. More lights flicker out. A person pulls himself aboard the ship in a crouched position. It looks from your window point hard to tell. Long hair, could be a woman. Water is just pouring from her onto the deck. She is totally drenched, green dress. A man steps towards her. As a couple of security are now pulling their guns, they are dressed in idiotic vampire costumes as they draw these weapons, and it does not look right. One guard you hear say, "Hello, miss, did you fall overboard? Are you all right?" She leaps at the man and just rips and tears at his neck, and blood spurts out. Two other guards fire their weapons. Bang, bang. And that is where we're going to call our game tonight. We will do the regular round the table. Starting with Jackson.
I want to start with me. Oh, hello. Finished.
Yep.
I was just doing some typing.
Had to finish on a cliffhanger.
Oh, always. I'm not really sure what to pick tonight. It was a very interesting session, to say the least. Obviously, the introduction of Mr. Isaac Graves and Echo's face, or Michelle's face, not so much Echo, Yanti's face when you described what he was wearing, or what he described what he was wearing as the character from her book. So that was obviously a surprise. That's it for me.
Sweet. Isaac, man on the scene.
For me, it's a couple of things. Obviously, Echo just taking control of the situation. Like, she had a purpose, and that purpose was one thing and one thing only, and nothing was going to stop her from achieving that. So I thought that was really cool. I mean, everyone else played a big part in that as well, but also curious to see where Jackson's going, his little turnaround. So I thought that was an interesting twist as well to the story.
Yeah, for sure. Aaron.
I'd like to say that the assassination went pretty damn good, since no one actually talked about it or planned it out. They just kind of threw it out there. By the way, we're killing this person. That was it. That was good. Having Magic come in as out of the blue, that was definitely interesting. Also, Pip's multiple personality disorder starting to surface, but not actually being multiple personalities. I don't quite know yet. We'll find out. But yeah, good character developments.
Awesome sauce. Zane.
The argument between Jax and Aaron, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's a great role play.
And of course, the other surprise on Echo's face. That was good.
Echo.
Peggy, what? Peggy. Oh my God. I can't wait to have a talk with her later. So yeah, that was my favorite, was the NPCs. And you did very well making me hate Sophie Hall. Like, yeah, she was very good.
She's so likable.
I know. So bravo. That was me.
Excellent. And who have I forgotten? Perp.
I'd have to say Sylvia's story about the oven, because I'm waiting for this story about the oven, and like I was glad that Aaron came along, and I really liked Isaac's powers and the blade. That was really super cool, seeing like, you know, another clan that has powers that are quite unique, and he sort of just used a fair bit of it in the session. It was really good, so I enjoyed that a lot.
It was good. It was a good opening for him. Good conversations with Pip. For me, there's a few good moments. For starters, the opening roleplay with Aaron and Jax, just that the disagreement, it was really good. It felt like two characters didn't get on or didn't agree with what they were talking about. It was definitely well played on both your guys' parts. And then Pip jumping on Zane and saying, "My precious," asking for a phone. I thought that was pretty amusing as well. And then just at the end there, Aaron's, "I've got all the cards. I have all the cards." I thought, yep, he's got all the cards. Not just in the way, you know, that people are thinking with credit cards. He's holding all the cards, which could play into Friday night's poker game. So, good work. Over to you, Evil.
That's pretty much it for us tonight. We will be back Wednesday, Curse of Strahd, so make sure you come back and watch all them die. Going to happen soon.
Possibly
maybe.
Carnos with this vampire thing.
You don't know shit. You don't know the correlation there at all. But we will be back definitely on Wednesday. That same time, 8 o'clock New Zealand start time. Make sure you're there for that. Have some fun. We'll obviously be back here the following Sunday for some more Vampire the Masquerade. Who are we going to raid tonight, guys? Like Poltergeist are doing Vampire as well. I think did we raid them last week? I feel like we did. Okay, we'll raid them again.
Yeah. Yeah, the ones doing that Sabat road trip.
Yes, they are. We will raid them again. Just because, why not? One vampire story to another. It lets me. Done. Dusted. See you guys on Wednesday.
See you all.